Andy Dassing describes himself as a hyperactive Type A personality. His current passion is teaching programming and robotics to children in both elementary and middle school. At home, he enjoys running around the yard with his dogs, playing with his granddaughter, and completing projects around the house, including woodworking and glass art.
I live in Florida. I've been here since 1983. Came down on vacation and on a whim took an interview, and they hired me on the spot, and within 20 minutes I became a Floridian and have been here ever since. One of my favorite hobbies is being a stained glass artist. It involves sometimes sitting for periods and sometimes standing, depending on the type of work that goes on. My wife and I are both artists, and we love just hanging out together in our little workshop areas and talking and putting the music on and spending time together.
But just over a year ago, a surprise pain began affecting his quality of life.
The pain started almost overnight. I had been doing nothing in particular the day before, but when I woke up one morning, my sciatic area and hip and down the side of my leg and groin area were very sensitive. The pain level increased steadily over the next few weeks. I thought it was a strain. I went to see my general practitioner, and he said, just take it easy, ice and heat, and see how that goes. Some ibuprofen type drugs, and I let it go for about another month and a half, 2 months. Was not getting any better. The pain that I felt was a stabbing pain. It was whenever I would move a certain way, it would start in my lower back and radiate down the left side of my leg, almost past my knee. And it was the kind of pain that after a while, you try and live with it by not moving a certain way. And then it got to the point where I just decided to stop moving. And I would minimally relocate from chair to chair to try and find a comfortable position.
Before considering surgical options for his pain, Andy received injections.
I had 3 lower lumbar injections with steroid, and I had a left hip injection into the hip socket to see if steroid and pain medication was going to have any effect there. Both the back injection and the hip injection lasted no more than a week, and then the symptoms were back in full force.
Disappointed that traditional methods would not eliminate his pain, he visited other orthopedic facilities.
So I went to see a hip orthopedic surgeon, and he said, "You look like a candidate for a hip replacement." And I wasn't too happy about that news. I waited another couple of months. The pain still got worse. I got to the point where I was so debilitated that I had no choice but to go and see another hip surgeon, who also said, "Yeah, you're probably a candidate for hip pain," until I mentioned, "It gets worse when I lay down." He said, "Oh, that's an interesting thing. It should get better when you lay down and take the weight off." At that point, I decided it was probably best to go and get my back MRI'd. They did that and found some issues there.
Just after his MRI, Andy saw a commercial for the Bonati Spine Institute, and he decided to submit his information for a free MRI review.
I met with Dr. Bonati the first time. He looked at the MRI. He said, "Let me give you a couple scenarios on how you're feeling, and you tell me which one fits." And he came up with 3 scenarios, and on the third one, he hit it on the head. About how the pain comes, how it goes, what I can do to make it feel better. He looked right at the MRI, and it didn't take long. He said, "I wish I had better news for you, but you need 3 procedures. You have these 3 areas that are impinging on your spinal column, and you're not going to get relief until we do these procedures." What I really appreciate about Bonati is the detailed explanation of what they're going to do and what you're going to feel afterwards. They gave me cautions and said, "You're going to feel really good in one certain area after your first procedure, but it may cause other areas to feel worse because you're no longer blocking the pain from those areas." Just knowing that made it easier that when I did feel better in one area, I wasn't disappointed that it felt worse in another area, because it was explained to me. And then after the second procedure, it got better, but one specific area was still really bad. And then after the third procedure, it was like, "Oh, this is great."
Only 2 months after his initial consultation, Andy completed his Bonati spine procedure surgical summary in December 2016.
The progress after each procedure was amazingly good. The 40-minute walk right after surgery was a shock at first, that I was being told to do this right after a spine surgery, but after the first day, it became second nature. After the second procedure, the idea of walking, I was almost excited to get up and walk to see how the new procedure felt and how much more relief I was going to get after each one of those. The recovery, all told, has been phenomenal. When people at work see me walking now without a limp, with a smile on my face, they see that there's a benefit. And several people have asked me, what did you do, where did you go, who did you see? And I'm more than happy to tell them that the Bonati Spine Institute is the place to go.
Should anyone be wondering if the Bonati Spine Institute can help eliminate chronic pain, Bonati's patient advocates, surgeons, and staff members are always available to help.
The people there are just so caring. You're not a number, you're not a dollar sign. They really care about what it's going to take to make you feel better. And I think that without question, everybody there has that same work ethic, has that same mindset. I just want to say a big thank you to Dr. Bonati and his team over at the Bonati Spine Institute. From day one until the end of my last procedure, they've taken care of me like I was family. The outcome is more than I would have expected. And if there's anybody out there who is considering any type of pain relief, back surgery, please go and see the Bonati Spine Institute.